Picture this, a sudden blackout in the world of public broadcasting, where beloved local radio voices and TV programs that connect communities simply disappear. That's the alarming scenario unfolding right now, thanks to funding decisions that threaten the very fabric of America's public media landscape. But stick around. We're about to dive into how comedian John Oliver is stepping up to fight back, armed with a hilarious auction that could just save the day. In his wrap-up episode of Last Week Tonight for 2025, John Oliver shone a spotlight on the Trump administration's move to slash funding for public broadcasting. He explained how Congress pulled the plug on $1.1 billion earmarked for the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, CPB. That's the nonprofit entity that supports public radio and TV stations nationwide, leaving a gaping hole that's hit especially hard in rural and underserved areas. Without that money, these stations struggle to keep their doors open, leading to fewer shows, less local content, and communities left without vital information sources. For beginners, think of the CPB as a kind of umbrella organization that helps fund educational and cultural programs you might tune into on PBS or NPR, ensuring voices from all walks of life get heard. Not one to sit idly by, Oliver and his team launched John Oliver's Junk, a quirky online auction site where 65 eclectic items are up for grabs, all proceeds flowing to the Public Media Bridge Fund. This fund is a lifeline for local broadcasters scrambling to find temporary funding amid the CPB's closure. The idea sprang from the Bob Ross estate, which recently auctioned off 3 original paintings by the late PBS icon to raise $662,000 for public broadcasting. A touching tribute that inspired Oliver's crew. Oliver teased the auction on Sunday's show, promising it runs through November 24th. Over the years, we've hoarded all sorts of bizarre memorabilia from our segments, he quipped. And now's the time to turn them into cash for a good cause. And boy, are these items a trip. Fans of Last Week Tonight will spot old favorites like Russell Crowe's jockstrap, straight from his role in Cinderella Man, then snagged by the show during Season 5's Art of Divorce auction, where Crowe hawked personal items to cover divorce costs. And Mrs. Cabbage Oliver, Oliver's veggie spouse from a Season 9 episode on AI Art, narrated on air with Steve Buscemi presiding. There's also a shiny, oversized gold-plated replica of President Lyndon B. Johnson's anatomy, a cheeky sculpture tied to a Season 12 exploration of presidential libraries. 5 wax figures of U.S. presidents, and those golden Adidas sneakers, which Oliver vowed to wear if FIFA boss Sepp Blatter resigned, as detailed in Season 2. Other treasures include a New York getaway to hang with Oliver himself, a box of Cabernet Sauvignon, a vintage wine crafted over the years by the show, a photo op peeking over Oliver's shoulder during an episode, and VIP seats for a live taping. Adding to the fun, Oliver's pal Joel McHale from Community popped up in the episode, reminiscing about his 1999 stint hosting a pledge drive for Seattle's PBS station, where he couldn't stop ranting about Mr. Bean. To honor that, McHale autographed a DVD set of Mr. Bean episodes, now part of the auction lineup. But here's where it gets controversial. Oliver didn't hold back on dissecting public broadcasting's woes. He highlighted its groundbreaking innovations, like pioneering closed captioning in the 1970s for the hearing impaired and offering shows in diverse languages such as Haitian Creole, Navajo, Vietnamese, and more, making it a bridge for underserved audiences. Yet, despite this service, the sector faces an existential threat from those budget cuts, which Republicans have been targeting since President Johnson signed the CPB into law decades ago. Oliver tackled the persistent claim of liberal bias head-on, arguing that what critics often label as such is really just factual reporting on topics like America's history of racism or the existence of LGBTQ+ communities. He suggested These attacks mask deeper prejudices, using them as excuses to wipe out the entire CPB budget. And this is the part most people miss. By slashing local funding, stations might end up leaning heavier on content from big city hubs like New York, sidelining crucial community-focused programming. As one California station exec put it, the local stories that matter most to everyday folks could vanish entirely. Public media shines in areas with sparse media coverage, delivering vital investigative journalism on issues like homeowners associations, juvenile justice, and execution methods, topics Last Week Tonight has covered by drawing on these sources. It's also a lifeline in emergencies, broadcasting alerts for missing persons or providing hurricane updates in places with spotty internet or cell service. Oliver pointed out the oddity of America's stingy support. Even pre-cuts, federal funding was a paltry $1.60 per person, dwarfed by nations like Norway, Sweden, and the UK, which spend over $100 per capita. Studies link robust public media to healthier democracies, promoting informed citizenry. Ideally, Oliver mused, we'd overhaul funding with a stable tax or licensing fee to shield the CPB from congressional whims every 2 years, an idea floated since its inception. But in our current reality, public media is teetering on the brink, and initiatives like this auction are a band-aid for the bleeding. Related, PBS CEO reveals plan to save stations and programming after Trump killed funding. Admits there's no white knight that will save us. https:/variety.com/2025 TV News PBS plan save stations programming without federal funding. 123555669. Do you see public broadcasting as an unbiased public good deserving of taxpayer support, or is there merit to the bias accusations? Could a licensing fee like in other countries finally stabilize funding, or would that spark even more debate? Share your opinions in the comments. I'd love to hear if you agree, disagree, or have your own take on how to keep our airwaves diverse and informative.